South Australia has been blessed with some truly inspirational leaders. You can't help but be impressed at what reads like a who's who of educational leadership.
I'm Garth Boomer. Today, in the public education system of South Australia, we have the responsibility of ensuring that all our young people have access to a high-quality, broad-based and well-balanced curriculum.
Over the decades, many leaders' voices have contributed to the story of South Australian public education and care. Many of you are in the room right now. Let's look back at some of the big ideas over the decades. Teaching as professional work, equity and social justice, learner voice, and leading powerful teaching and learning. I want to start with Albie Jones, our Director General of Education from 1970 to 1977. He directly affected who I was as an educational leader, and he put some radical, powerful directions on the table. Albie knew that teaching is professional work. He made this clear in his 1970 Freedom and Authority Memorandum to heads of departmental schools. In it, he said that principals were in complete control of their schools with their staff. They were given the widest liberty to vary courses, altered timetables, experiment with teaching and assessment. A real-world first for any public education system. South Australia has always been willing to take a risk, to innovate and learn from experience. Albie saw teachers as professionals. He knew that their professional judgment mattered. This idea continues to permeate all of our curriculum guidelines, frameworks, standards and approaches to professional learning. But even then, it was hard to get teachers together for collaborative professional learning. In my 1990 paper, What Are Teachers Up To? Speculating on the Secret Service, I drew attention to how important it was, even then, to de-privatise practice, to learn together to improve our craft. Another thing you might not know about Albie was that he really enjoyed being with young people. He would walk into a school, freak out the teachers and start talking to the kids. He used to ask them their opinion on a range of educational matters. In the 70s and 80s, class meetings began in South Australia. At kindy, children began planning their learning. Student representative councils started in primary schools. Students sat on school councils in secondary schools, and youth forums were established, all well ahead of their time. In South Australia, before it was popular, we knew that students are not empty vessels to be filled, not tabula rasa. And of course, my famous 1982 book, Negotiating the Curriculum, was all about this, and many South Australian voices contributed to this work. Patches of brilliance everywhere. Learners having a voice in their learning was just one part of a bigger story about the role of education and care in creating a socially just and democratic society. Just look at our amazing early years leadership, for example. Who could have pulled off what Lillian DeLissa achieved? Supporting free kindergartens for our poorest children, which became the basis for statewide social reform. What a legacy. In 2006, our thinker in residence, Fraser Mustard, told us what we already knew here in South Australia. Get it right in the early years and it can change social and economic outcomes for the state. So from the early years to the SACE for all, we've always recognised that while the 3 R's are fundamental, there's far more to it than that. Over time, we've put our energies, thoughts and heart into what we believe really makes a difference. And we continue to strive to close the gap for those who traditionally benefit least from what we do. Our Aboriginal learners and our disengaged students. It's a powerful force that drives us as a profession. Some call it the moral imperative for education. For me, It's about teachers becoming pragmatic radicals, those who authentically help the young find ways into information and power and teach them, whenever they can, the secrets of schooling and learning. And this takes us to your role. Leading powerful teaching and learning, our core professional work.
We will continue to support teachers in looking at the art and craft of their own teaching and sharing it across schools.
And so today, what do we mean by powerful teaching and learning? And what's important in leading this? What type of learning do we want to create? What type of teaching is effective for this? What outcomes do we want to achieve? Do my 1991 quality learning litmus tests still hold true? Who's asking the questions? Who's doing the talking? Do learners know what the learning intentions are? Is the teacher clear about the learning plan, about how to get there? Is group work genuine collaboration? What level of challenge is there? So what is the leadership required today to develop teacher capacity for powerful learning like this? It's clear that the South Australian education and care system has good, strong bones. We have so much to build on. Imagine what we could achieve in partnership.